What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning into the Downbeat today, man. Welcome, everybody. Say hi to John. What's up, John?
What's up, everybody? What's going on? What's going on, Tony? Thank you for having me.
Hey, my pleasure, man. I'm glad we were able to team up and get this episode together of what I like to call the Downbeat, where we're talking about music news, latest releases, concerts, whatever's kind of on our mind, just to kind of chit chat and have some fun dialogue and just catch up with each other. You know what I mean, brother?
Perfect, man. Appreciate you having me on the show, and I'd love to talk, man. And let's just just have a fun time. Let's go.
Yeah, man, John. Thanks a lot. You got such a can-do attitude, and that's what makes it so.
Uh-oh. You froze up on me, Tony. Is that me or is that you? I wonder if that's me. Okay. It's
but I'm clearing up. You're back.
Okay.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you now.
All right. Well, what the Downbeat's all about is, music news, releases, concerts, movies, all kinds of fun shit that we want that entertains us. So I want to kind of get things started off today by talking about one of my favorite drummers who just got the gig touring with Foo Fighters, and I'm talking about John Freese. What an amazing drummer, right, John?
Dude, when I heard the news and I saw the videos of him playing with Foo Fighters, I was like, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it sounds, if not, I mean, it's just as good. Obviously, Josh Freese is like a perennial player, dude. From 9 Inch Nails to a Perfect Circle.
Yeah,
I think he's even played He's played punk for sure. I think the Vandals and just like his catalog is pretty far. It's pretty vast. So
huge.
Going with the Foo Fighters. I mean, dude, with all due respect to
Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I can't believe it. We already passed a year, back in March. It's already been a year that he's passed on.
Yeah.
And, much props to Dave and the guys in the Foo Fighters, taking the time it took to get things back together and get things squared away and kind of, get Foo Fighters back in kicking ass routine again, like they're known to do. And Taylor's always brought his A game, and Taylor's always going to be a part of that band. And I think that's always going to be a part of that onstage kind of power and energy that the guys kind of bring. And, when you got somebody that's that such a huge part of the music making process right there, and the circumstances that happen, hey, he's always going to be a part of that Foo Fighters magic that just keeps carrying on. And, when they showed him on, I think it was Sunday, they had that live stream that the Foo Fighters had called Preparing Music for Concerts. Very freaking cool. They put it out on Veeps.com and just putting some extra social media stuff out there to let you know, hey, we're back. We're getting ready to rock. Josh is the man now. And, they had some cameos from some other cats, dropping in there too. So that was fun. And, I just got to hand it to Dave to just kind of keeping up and keeping things hot for the band and keeping them hype and keeping everybody interested. So Josh,
he's the lifer, and they picked the right guy. You know what I mean? For the job. So excited.
He's the man. He's definitely the man. So, what else you got on your table?
Dude, I've been so busy lately, and I mean, purposely, honestly, just to just basically, I'm a ruminator. I overthink all day. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
just being as busy as possible and trying to just consume myself with any and every project I can. With alongside being a father, it just gets overwhelming sometimes. So I didn't even know that that Veeps was going on with the Foo Fighters, and I saw it like a day later. I was like, whoa, okay. And I kind of see things a little like delayed, like in the news, and because I'm just like consume myself, man. I did an event this past weekend, this Saturday, at the Museum of Science and History for this organization, National Alliance for Mental Illness.
Yeah.
So it was an event that brought awareness to mental health and brought light to all the resources that one has at their disposal. Man, there's a whole lot of resources, and so that was a good event to attend. And I'm glad that they asked me to snap the pics for it, man. So I had a good time. And then it was tiresome. It was tiresome, man, because I'm running around everywhere. There's only one of me, and
Yeah.
it's nerve wracking because it's like you don't want to mess up. You know what I mean? So you want to give the best product you can. And thankfully, so far they're very happy with the product. So that makes me feel like I did my job. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm
So
sure you did a great job, man. You put a lot of pride in your work. Like you said, you're hustling. So you know what it takes, and you do whatever it takes to make it happen, man.
you got to, man. And that's like I think it's so weird. Like in the midst of it all, like you're like so worried about it, but when you're like enthralled and you're like actually there's no other choice but to go forward and do it. Like we're here, bro. Like let's
Yeah.
go. You know what I mean? You kind of give yourself that little pep talk. There's people all around you. What seems like big wigs and VIPs and organizers and event coordinators. It's like, bro, you're just right up there with them. Don't think of yourself any less. You know what I mean? And I think uh, myself and I know a lot of other people can get lost in that. And just that mentality of just like, man, you're not good enough, or you don't have what it takes, or you get that imposter syndrome really bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
I kind of like love to like kind of shed light on that mindset that, hey, dude, it doesn't have to be like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
be be confident, because the reason why you're here, whoever is in a situation like that, bro, you're here for a reason. You've built up to be where you're at. Don't
Yeah.
ever think like, you know what I mean, like you're not good enough. So and I find myself telling myself that like a lot, like constantly, because that imposter syndrome sinks in, bro, and you're just like, man, why am I even doing this? It's the same thing with drumming. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's like, why am I even doing this, dude? But you got to remember, hey, you're here for a reason. You got
Yeah.
you got a lot of badass dudes like you know what I mean, that kind of like that encourage me along the way and tell me like, hey, dude,
Yeah.
badass show, badass album, or badass whatever. So man, if anybody's struggling with that, hey, just know that the reason you're in the position you are is because you worked hard for it. So don't ever forget that.
Great words, John. Great words. And you know what? I want to kind of add on that a little bit because I felt over the past 3 weeks that I was somewhat depressed. I could.
I think we got another pause here. Tony, come on. Let's get him. Let's get him back. It's Tony. Okay. I got you, Daniel. Let's see. He's going to come back into the chat here in a second. How do I find this on? It's on YouTube as well. Okay, let me see. Let me get on my phone. Let me see if I can. All right, everybody. It's just me. Welcome to the Tony Gomez Show. I am the honorary host. Is that how you say honorary? Whoa, I feel like I'm in the spotlight right now. But anyway, while Tony Gomez is coming back, what we were talking about right now was just words of encouragement, and to just there he is. There's a man. Your mic's off.
Yeah, sorry about that. The fill in for now. I'm completely unprepared.
Oh,
But
you're good.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
good, man.
We'll wait on Tony to come back. Yeah, that didn't work out
Okay.
either.
Yeah, I saw
But
my face.
anyway,
I saw my face, just me, Daniel, and I was like, oh, damn. Okay, I'm tripping.
yeah, when he went away, he went away.
He
So
went away,
yeah,
bro. Oh
yeah, we'll
man.
make do.
Anyway, yeah, just like what I was saying, people out there was just, man, words of encouragement, and just like Tony, he ended it. He was depressed, and I was waiting to hear what he was gonna say, because you know, we all go through those bouts, man. How you been lately?
Been good, brother. Just been working, man. Waiting to get out there, like we were talking about earlier
Yeah.
on Friday. Go take some more pics, man. I got a new lens, so I hadn't shot with it really at all. I just did a few test shots around the house, so I'm kind of
Right
eager to
on.
get
And
out there with it.
you're taking off on Friday?
Correct, correct.
Where
I
are
meet the
you
guys out in Phoenix.
in Phoenix? Nice.
Yeah,
Okay, that's what's up. And let me ask you this: what lens is that? What lens did you just get?
I got a Sony G Master 25 or 24-70.
24
So
to 70 Zoom.
yeah, I already had a 24-70, but it wasn't G Master. It was an off-brand Tamron
It
or
was a Tamron.
whatever.
How
Yeah,
did that work out for you? Was the Tamron all
I
right?
mean,
Was
yeah, it was all right, man. It wasn't the best. I wasn't in love with it, and it gave me real varying degrees of good or whatever. Sometimes it'd be good, sometimes it would be real crappy, and it was
it
real
just?
slow on autofocus. So
Oh, I
that G
got.
Master is pretty tight.
It was is the G Master 2.8 or does it go
It's yeah, it's 2.8, right?
it's 0.8?
Yeah.
For those listening and just have no idea what we're talking about, we're just talking camera gear. This is being important now. But damn, let me ask you this. So I saw those promo shots for that headgear, the headgear that El Nino, the members, a couple of members. I don't know if it's all the members or just I saw three. Sal, Miggy, Marcos were sponsored by that headgear, and you shot those shots. Obviously, where'd you guys shoot those shots at?
We shot him in Alice out there at let me see, J&L Construction, which is Marcus's dad's business, the concrete business.
Oh,
So
nice.
either way, we're out there on that property. There's a couple of connexes, and that's where we did it. So yeah, they're endorsed. They're endorsers, or they're endorsed by. I don't know which way that goes, because
Well,
I'm
let me
not
tell you
endorsed
something,
by
man.
anybody. So
Those pictures came out really good. They came out really well. I dug the just the coloring and everything, the contrast. Well, not contrast, but color grading. And I saw a light coming from the back. How many lights did you use for that?
I had a two flash setup. I had one at a 45 coming from the front, and then one in the back as like a hair light or whatever. But
Yeah,
Tony
yeah.
just messaged me. He said he'll be on in a minute. So thanks to y'all, the ones who
Oh, wait, I
are
don't want you to
hanging
go
in
anywhere.
there.
This is running pretty smooth. I think me and you should
Yeah.
just, hang out.
We'll just take over the Tony Gomez show.
Tony,
Yeah.
come back, Papa. Yeah, he
But
messaged
yeah,
me.
man.
Said
Oh,
coming
okay, go
back.
ahead.
No, he said he's
Yeah.
coming back. So.
But yeah, I like that one shot. I had him do the Ross Halfin, Cliff Burton,
I
the
just
double
seen that.
fist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool,
and
man.
it worked out really cool. I was like, man, I wish he would have used that shot somewhere, and then it came out today.
Nice.
Did you see that one that came out of nowhere? It was from Belgium. Yeah, I know you've seen it because you liked it, but it was the one where I'm behind Marcos filming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
was
now I got to
cool.
find that footage. Yeah,
That
because a
was
lot of that,
good shot.
yeah, that's it came out of left field. He shared it with me the other day. I was like, oh hell, that's badass.
Let me ask you, do you know anything about the concert that El Nino played last year? Was it last year? I believe it's been already a while back. Was it the Hellfest or was it overseas? Hellfest is Mexico, but I don't. It might have been the festival that was overseas, but it was pro shot. I know because where did I see footage from? But I never saw like full footage, and I was wondering, man, do they have that show like pro shot from that event?
There was one. We'll talk about that one off camera, but they do
Okay.
have some footage. I'm yeah. I don't want to reveal
Okay.
any secrets here.
No worries. No worries.
Let me see. Yeah, I'm surprised he's not back in. I mean, he just messaged us both. But either way,
Yeah,
we're hanging in there. So you
we're
shot that
doing.
event that you were talking about?
Yeah, I shot it this past Saturday. One of the coordinators had reached out to me a couple of months ago because they had seen some of my photos, and real nice woman who's a coordinator with that organization invited me to come out and asked me for a quote. We did the whole nine. And went out there, and man, I was, for some reason, I was really nervous, man. Like, I don't get nervous when I play shows, but unless it's like a big, I don't know, it has to be like a certain circumstance. But like, for some reason, that day was real nerve-wracking, and it might be just because it's just not, I'm not used to that crowd. I don't hang around a lot with, I'm more scene and more venue and band and artist type. So this was like real nerve-wracking. And I think just the museum is just a real nice place. And they set me up in that room where it's just a huge like dome. And it's just
Uh-huh.
like, it's just, dude, it's so beautiful in there. So
Uh-huh.
and just having the patrons just come in and, hey, grabbing stuff and taking a picture, and you want the right exposure and you want the right settings, and it's just like, it's nerve-wracking. And then you just want to get the right shots for the event, just running around everywhere. So I mean, when it was over, bro, I was glad, but I was happy that I actually went through with it and just got out of my comfort zone, because I could have easily just been at home, just chilling, you know what I mean? Or
Uh-huh.
doing something, just being totally comfortable. So, for those out there, man, that are just used to just being totally comfortable, I'm gonna tell you right now, you ain't gonna get where you want to get, unless it's who you know. You know what I mean? A lot of circumstances are, it's not what you know, it's who you know. For people like me, it's like you got to get out of your comfort zone, because I mean, I know a lot of people, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I like to put in the work. So get yourself uncomfortable, bro. And I'm not saying you, Daniel, because you're on it, but those that are, wanting to achieve their goals and have certain dreams and aspirations, go out there and make yourself uncomfortable, man. All right, Tony's coming back. That's the
Yeah,
message I
yeah,
got right now.
yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, we've heard some stuff. We've heard he's coming back. We've yet to see it, but I'm sure we both have faith.
Tony, 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 Tony,
But
Tony.
yeah, no, man, that's absolutely accurate. You got to get out of your comfort zone, and
I know
you got to be willing.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I know you got to be nervous when you're up on those festivals.
Oh yeah, because there's a big buzz going on. So yeah, just that in itself, and you kind of caught up in the moment. So it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
I just run with a bit of confidence, and being that like if it was live video, oh man, I would be completely nerve wracked. But being that
Right.
I get to take pictures and post processing's involved, that kind of provides a little bit of comfort. But no, I mean, yeah, there's always that sense of nervousness, but it turns more into a positive energy, I believe, at least for me.
Once you start doing it for that first couple of minutes is nerve wracking, but then after that it kind of just settles, right? And you're just like in the
Yeah,
groove.
and then you just start worrying about, okay, I got this, I got that. Let me not shoot 1,000 shots that I'm going to use, 20 of. You know,
Yeah.
you start really trying to look at the lights and pay attention to the music and pay attention to Mark Rizzo and when he's going to jump. That kind of thing.
At some point it starts getting to a certain mindset, like you were saying, within yourself, is like, okay, we aren't going to take 2,000 shots a day. We're just going to take,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You don't want to go and have to organize and cull through all those photos, man. I tell myself this.
Oh, it's a nightmare. Oh yeah, no, every time you get out there and do something, you learn something. Every time, it's always a learning process, and that's the great thing about
That's good, man. Well, let me tell you, let me ask you this. Do you got any projects that you haven't talked about that maybe you can talk about, or are you just laying low for now?
Yeah, no, there's nothing. There's nothing on the shelf at least right now. Um, I was kind of proud of the Numb video that came out because I shot the shots of Marcus singing. We did that at Beltran Studio. That was kind of cool, but that's out. That is released, but it's kind of obscure that where my credit for that is. You know, there was some stuff that was put out on Facebook giving me credit for the work, but when it was released, it came out on YouTube, and it's just kind of down there in the bottom, you know. But
Uh,
anyway, yeah, I don't know if you knew that I had shot that video,
yeah, I for sure. If it's anything involved with
right?
Marcos and it's in Corpus Christi, your your vicinity, you know, from your headquarters, I am automatically immediately assume it's Daniel Adame. And for those that don't know, the guy to my left or your right or whatever, that's Daniel Adame, and that's the owner of Daniel Adame Productions, the one that runs the Tony Gomez show and other things that are going on within you know, the city of Corpus Christi as far as photos and videos and production goes, man. So if there's any bands out there who need videos and this guy has the time and you know, and our photos or just whatever you need, man, hey, hit this guy up because this guy's the
Absolutely,
dude.
they're probably looking at me right now like, oh yeah, that dude doesn't even know how to light a shot. That's because I was chilling here in my living room,
No,
just
yeah, you was
monitoring the
totally
show.
spontaneous. It
Yeah,
was
with
completely
no
spontaneous.
expectation to come
I'm
on.
sorry to put you on the spot, bro.
Yeah, no. You didn't put me on the spot, but I had to come in here. I had to come in here and save you. You know, you were all by yourself. I was like, I can't let him. I can't let him drown.
I was thanks, bro, because I didn't know what I was going into next. I was just gonna shoot my shot. Um,
Uh huh.
but yeah, man. Okay.
I see some activity. He's back. He's back. All right, I'm gonna duck out so y'all can have it.
Hell yeah, we are back.
All right.
Damn, John, I tell you, never a dull moment, right? I tell you, shit, that'll fuck with your mental health right there. I was tripping over here on my side. Going, what the fuck? We never had this kind of trouble with StreamYard.
It's okay. Me and Daniel were holding it down, talking about certain stuff as far as photography goes, and just things that we're used to doing.
Yeah.
But before you broke off, you were telling me how you were just into a slump and being depressed, and I don't know if you remember saying that, but if you can bridge off from what you were saying earlier.
You know, a lot of the times I find myself very, very blessed that I don't feel the way I did over the past 3 weeks because I don't experience it. But when it felt like it was like last week I had the flu, but before that it was like I had a mental kind of flu, something with just a little cloudy, just not really with a lot of purpose, not really driven, and it seemed like there were just some, maybe some outside factors that were kind of out of my control, but I kind of dwelled on them. And instead of just kind of moving past it and seeing, where do I got to go from here, take a different turn and pivot, I just kind of just wallowed in my misery to an extent. And getting ready for the race that I did last weekend, getting out there and running was part of the anxiety I think that I was experiencing because I was worried about hurting my leg again because I just ripped my hamstring on New Year's Day. And I thought I was going to injure myself again just by stupid pride, trying to keep up with somebody that, is definitely a lot better runner that hasn't been injured. And I was just kind of being tough on myself and doubting myself. And, Lori kind of broke the ice with me on Saturday, or more like Sunday, just kind of prying into me and just kind of opened my eyes to, the little things I'll say, like when she asked me, "What's the matter with you?" I'll be like, "Nothing's the matter." "Oh yeah, nothing's the matter." I can tell, and bless her heart for digging in and trying to get me to open up.
Yeah.
And I did. And I was started telling her about all kinds of shit that's been kind of feeling like it's bringing me down. And she just kind of put things in perspective that, I need to get back in my game and get back to what makes me happy. Like doing the podcasting, like interviewing people. There've been some interviews that had to get rescheduled, and some things just didn't happen according to some a little as scheduled, and everything as a whole just kind of felt like it came into like a monkey ball. It just kind of tied up in a knot every which way, and I just had to figure out how to get out of it. And I feel like I'm still getting out of it. It's not like it just from one day to the next. It's just like, hey, I'm fixed. I feel like I'm starting to get out of it. And part of the therapy, I think, of where I need to be is me reaching out to you and asking you to do the show with me, because I feel like you're a great, positive, encouraging force in my life, that when there's things like this, that struggles that we all go through, and I see you on Facebook always posting some great positive things to keep us above the challenges and the obstacles that we all have to deal with on a daily basis. And that's encouraging, man. And I need that kind of stuff in my life. And I love that you bring the best of yourself and you share that with so many people. And I know from talking you at rehearsals and stuff, doing Christmas gigs and stuff, that you're not living a perfect life. And I'm not living a perfect life either. And we got things that we would rather have worked out a different way, and we'd rather have this going on, and things just didn't happen the way we thought. And here's what we got to do now. Being dad, being fathers, we've got to tighten up, be strong, go to our family for some strength and some resource and some knowledge, and do what we need to do, and do the work. Don't let the mental things get a hold of you and get the best of you, and feeling like you don't belong, feeling like, because sometimes I'll feel like that, and like, man, am I getting too old for this shit? Those are the kind of things that go through my head.
Definitely.
Am I getting too old for this shit? And I don't feel like it. We got things coming up. I just played last weekend, and there's so much that I got to be thankful for. But it seems like the nature of man, the more you get, the more you want, and it takes a little bit more to satisfy you. And you being a lover of the different passions you have, photography and drumming, it just, what I'm going through. You want to do a little bit of everything, but you can't be everything everywhere all the time, all at once.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely hark on the words you're saying, bro, and definitely deal with that too. And I'm right there with you as far as experiencing just the low points of, because you could be, it's the ebbs and flows, and you could be so high for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and that's a blessing that we are.
Yeah.
But then it's like boom, out of nowhere, dude, we just hit rock bottom. And to know, like, as far as like spirituality goes within myself and my spirit, it's like these times, like that are times of suffering, they're gonna pay off, man. You just gotta be faithful. You gotta remember all your resources. You gotta remember that you got people like you in my life around, and all my friends, and everybody in the community, my family, those that are closest to me. You always gotta, because there's times where you're just like, man, bro, uh, crashing into this wall doesn't seem so bad right now. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
when it gets to that point, it's a pretty low point. So just always just, hey man, just be mindful that you do have people that are there to support you and love you, man. And it doesn't matter who you are. I always, and I know you do too, man. If there's somebody there that's feeling like that, like, hell not, like, hey, bro, pick yourself up, because I'm right there with you, and I'll make sure that you get up. You know what I mean? I'll make sure that we're gonna end this night or this moment on the right foot. And if we can't do that, we'll do it tomorrow. And if we can't do it tomorrow, we're gonna keep doing it until we're gonna get a little bit of light in this room of darkness. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's, man, it's a beautiful thing to know that when times get tough, the good times are going to be that much better. So,
Yeah. Absolutely.
and
And
it builds strength and it builds character within your spirit and your mind and your soul, man. So
it does.
I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad that I can help you, in this time. And thank you for reaching out, man.
Yes, man. Thank you so much, and for just being that special soul that I need in my life as well to encourage me and keep us all. High tide raises all ships,
There you
and
go.
that's where we all want to be. We all want to be on that high tide.
Quick
Ship,
question.
right?
Quick question.
Yeah.
And I know you don't want to think or go back to that, but dang, how bad did the flu? Did it kick your ass pretty bad or what?
I've had it worse. So that's why I missed one day of work on Tuesday.
Okay.
And Wednesday I went back to the grind and just, did the Dayquil thing for just that. And Thursday, Friday, I just been kind of trying to get all the crud out of me.
I got
And
you.
it's getting better.
I hate getting the flu, brother. I hate it.
Yes,
I mean, who
dude.
likes it, right?
Yeah.
It's a different type of sick, man. Like with COVID, it was like the flu to me was worse. It's just like COVID hung around longer. It was like,
Yeah.
it was
Yes.
bad.
I'm glad I'm feeling better.
That's
And
good.
nevertheless, you know how things travel in your house. Now Lori's got it.
Ah,
But she had it the worst probably about 2 days ago. So she's on the tail end. But
it's on the mend.
yeah,
Okay.
it sucks that it has to happen like that. But shit.
I hope I'm glad she's feeling better, man.
Yeah. Well, let's say I think we saw Thomas in here. I saw Hector visiting us in the chat room. So I want to say hi to the guys. Appreciate you guys checking out the show. And it may have been a little while since you were in there because we got cut off for a little bit. But hopefully, if you want to tune back in, you got anything you want to add, please chime in, guys. All right. We appreciate you.
Chime in, fellas. Yeah.
Real quick, before I hit up a couple of things. I want to give a shout out to Adam Grossman. He's the guitar player for Anchor Watt and the guitarist for Screw. And today's his birthday. So happy birthday, Adam.
Adam, happy birthday. I don't know if he's a drinker. But anyway, cheers.
He's not, but I know back in the day he was. Hell yes.
Cheers, Adam. Hey, happy birthday, brother. Keep rocking.
Happy birthday, Adam. Anchor Watt being one of my favorite all-time bands from town. And Adam's a big part of what made Anchor Watt so fucking special. So happy birthday. And let's see, I think I had something else on the agenda right here. Next thing I wanted to talk about real quick was a death in the metal community. And it happened yesterday. The band I'm talking about is Metal Church, and it's their drummer, man. Their drummer passed away yesterday morning. His name is Kirk Arrington. And badass drummer, dude. Awesome, man. And Lefty, and as well, Lefty too. Yes, hell yeah.
Outlaw, baby.
I got to give a shout out to the show that I saw him do a sound check for. It was Anthrax, Among the Living tour, Metal Church, The Dark, and DRI on Crossover. And we got in there and we got some vouchers, so we got to get there for a sound check. And they did Phantom of the Opera. From Iron Maiden to warm up, and then they did a Merciless Onslaught, which is their instrumental from the first album. And just big shout outs to the Metal Church family, and my condolences to Duke Arrington's family and loved ones. I know this is a hard time, but I'm going to jam some Metal Church here tonight and think about all the great moments that Duke shared with his music and all of us metalheads to just make life a little bit better for us every day. So rest in peace, Duke.
Blessings and rest in peace to the Metal Church family, man, and the community. Yeah, they're pioneers.
Big time, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think you had something on your plate, man. What do you think of that new Metallica, the 72 Seasons?
I definitely want to get into 72 Seasons, man. I've been quiet. I just kept my mouth shut. And, kind of just laid low and read all the criticisms and
all the comments and reviews
and all the happy posts and the bad posts and just say, man, I kind of been reserved, but I'm gonna let you know right now, man. 72 Seasons is an amazing album. It's a kick-ass album. I think this album really highlights James as a vocalist. I think this is as far as like vocal performance goes. I mean, if you listen to the Black Album, James is amazing on that album.
Yeah.
And then you get into the Loads, and he kind of shifts into more, I guess, I don't know, like a more a singer, uses some bravado and stuff like that, and
Yeah, he starts
kind of
using all the
opens
tools.
up a lot. I feel like in 72 Seasons, man, he's real grit. He's real gritty and grimy, but he has a lot of the Black Album in him too, mixed with some load and reload in there too, musically and vocally, which is real cool to listen to. It's got a Black Album vibes, and it's got a load vibes, and it's got a Death Magnetic vibes. I wasn't too big on the Hardwired album. I mean, it's a good album, but these songs on 72 are great. They're great written songs. My only gripe, and I think it's gonna be until Metallica's career ends, unless they change their writing style. My only gripe is just the like monotonous beginnings of each song. It's like they play like 24. They'll play like 24 measures of the same like thing over. It's like you don't have to play it that many times. You know what I mean? When they get into the songs and they're in the latter part of the songs, it's like, okay, this is when it's like interesting. The song ends. The next song is going to begin. You already know what's going to happen. They're going to play 24 measures of, and it's like every song, right? I think that's just my biggest gripe. Other than that, I mean, the songs on there, 72 Seasons is an amazing song. Chasing Shadows, one of my favorite songs, song number 2 on that album. Dude, so good.
I like Sleepwalk My Life Away.
Good song.
It's beginning.
Yes.
Woo, hell yeah.
Yes, dude.
Once that bass starts rocking.
I
really love 72 Seasons. I think that song itself is just maybe one of the better written songs on that album right there. Great lyrics. I love the way he's, the chorus, Wrath of Man. And
bro,
he's really bringing out the James vocals hard, dude.
So good.
So cool. No, right?
You Must Burn. Great song. They got a lot of good songs. Chasing Light.
Yeah. That's
Chasing Light. Shadows Follow. It wasn't Chasing Shadows. It was Shadows Follow. But the ultimate banger on that album for me is Room of Mirrors, bro. That song. And I believe it's song number 9. It is so epic. And I don't know if people get it when I like sit down with them and like, you got to listen to this and listen to this part. Specifically, the latter part of the song, because it's so old school Metallica. Lars's performance on that song. Listen to it tonight if you get a chance to me, please. Room of Mirrors. Good, dude.
I'm gonna jam that one again tonight. I'm seeing some of our buds. We got Furman in the house, and we got Hector chiming in too. Firm's shouting out about some of his favorites right there. And Hector, what did you say right there? The bigger grape it is that, but
that
it's
not Saint Anger. The biggest gripe, yeah. He's Hector's a Saint Anger apologist, man. Like, he'll defend. Yeah, I know. Hey, John, I can't either. I can't either, man. I can't do Saint Anger. A lot of people say it's a good album. It's just, dude, that's where they started just repeating themselves every song. It's like 24 measures of just the same thing. And that's my biggest gripe, bro. Other than that, it's a great album. And I'm happy that they made this album. And I'm a lifer, Metallica lifer, man. I don't care what people say. I always look forward to what Metallica puts out. And this album is just fresh, new tunes, and I can't wait for the next one, man. And hopefully, I get to see him on this album cycle. So
I hope so, man. Things are still fresh. Yeah, they got some expensive tickets going for the Arlington show, but I think there's more where that came from. Metallica's, just got a fresh album. There's going to be plenty Metallica over the next 2 years, where I think we'll get a second chance if we're not able to catch him here in August. But
let me ask you this question.
Intros, I gotta me being a metal singer, I love a fucking badass Metallica long intro. You got Enter Sandman. What is it?
Yeah.
Eye of the Beholder. You got so many, like the first albums. You had Fight Fire with Fire with the big long acoustic beginning, and and Justice for All. They're known for those intros that just take 2 minutes.
Okay, so this is what it is. They don't come up with these intros as cleverly as they did back then. You know what I mean? They don't do it nearly as clever as they did back then, and that is like, oh, but I get what you're saying, man.
If anybody does it right, they do it. But man, I feel you. But let's start showing some other love. Let's see. Moving on to another topic. Ghost put out an EP that's going to be nothing but covers, and they're doing tracks from a band called Television, from Tina Turner, from Genesis, and they just put one out from Iron Maiden. They did a Phantom of the Opera, and the original singer Paul Di'Anno for Iron Maiden, who originally recorded Phantom of the Opera on the Iron Maiden album, had to come out, and he had a little something to say. And in his words, he says, everyone's been asking, my opinion on the new Ghost cover of Phantom. Well, not that it really matters, but it kind of sucks. So, he's not a big fan of the new version, but, listening to it, they've ghostized it, and that's cool, because you don't need a copycat of Maiden. And, I heard the Genesis track that they did, and I really dug it. It kind of had that same kind of Disturbed Genesis cover that Disturbed Atlanta Confusion. Very metalized, but done well. So, I'm kind of late to the Ghost bandwagon. What do you think? You like those guys? You a fan?
They're very unique. They're not really my cup of tea. I don't go out and purposely try to listen to anything Ghost puts out. If I hear something from somebody I'm hanging out with and they're Ghost fan, hey, jam them. I don't mind. But I just don't really reach out. I will tell you that what I do like about them is their cleverness. You know what I mean? How they can make a song sound like something so poppy sound heavy. You know what I mean? And
right.
The riff doesn't even have to be distortion, but it just sounds heavy and spooky in their own Ghost way. And that's what I find really clever with those guys. But I haven't heard the EP. I've only heard a select few songs of Ghost, like I said. They're just really not my cup of tea. But hey, man, from what I've seen videos, I have seen videos, and they put on a great show. So they're always theatrical, and their musicianship is great, and they just whoa. So that's something I do hand to them and give them.
Hell yeah. So moving on, tell me, I think you had some news that you wanted to share about Dave Ellefson and what he's got a new project, right?
Yeah, he's got the new project Dieth with a couple of members, or a member from Decapitated and Entombed. I think it was Entombed AD actually, but they put a couple of singles out. And have you heard those singles?
Not yet, dude. Oh shit,
bro, they're good. They are good, man. Yeah, they're good. I think one of the singles is "Don't Get Mad, Get Even," and it's bass, just pummeling. You know what I mean? Just straight metal death. It's got elements of death metal in there with some thrash. So, and the production's great. The production is heavy. So, and Ellefson's bass tone too sounds great, man. You could hear it through the mix and cut. Just that, that typical Ellefson playing style. Which
he put it down. I love Ellefson style, man.
He's got a chip on his shoulder, man, since he was let go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
you know what?
I don't blame him.
Yeah. I hear another thing about Dave is he's kind of finished doing the narrating for the Nick Menza movie that they've been putting together for probably several years right now, and that's exciting, man. I'm a big Megadeth fan, and Nick Menza has always been one of those kind of personalities that was always fun about Megadeth whenever you would see him. And I love the story about Nick. He used to be, he's the drum tech for Gar.
I believe so, yeah. And then
right. He was a drum tech for whoever his job he ended up taking, and I guess that probably was Gar Samuelson when Gar passed away.
yeah.
And I love those success stories like that. You know what? Hey, he's already been there grinding. The main guy, for whatever reason, is not there, but boom, that's Nick's chance to jump in there, and here he is playing with the big four all of a sudden, kicking. And I love his style, and I love his drum set was always big. I love the big double bass, the cage, and everything's like a big wraparound. And
Yeah.
I've always liked the big. Sure, in the 90s when things got shrunk down and stuff, it is what it is. And you really don't need all that much, truthfully. But visually, me being a big production kind of guy, that I love seeing that whenever I'm seeing a show, the more drums, the better. Fuck yeah. Even if they don't use
drums, be better, Tony. Right. I tell you one thing, dude, if I was a musician that was touring and I was legit, like I'd have a huge drum set because I wouldn't have to put that thing together every night. You know what I mean? And take it down. It's like, dude, you get drum techs, 1 or 2 drum techs that are and bro, man, hey, let's have at it. Let's have fun. Because like you were saying, when I was a kid, bro, just that Nick Menza, that patented Nick Menza drum, drum heads with the
like a radiation symbol.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and then the hanging cymbals, and every time he'd hit them, they just flop so hard. I always tripped out on that. I was like, dude, his cymbals are going hard. It's like, damn, how does he hit it and it's just flopping? He has to catch it right on to do a choke. You know what I mean? But
right.
Those huge cymbals, man, I loved. Those huge drum sets, man, those were awesome. Just like the Lars and the Dave Lombardos and
hell yeah. Speaking of large drum sets, real quick, I got to give a shout out to a drum set I purchased back in the day when me and Lori first got together. I'm sure she thought I was crazy. I got in a car accident with my friend, and I got sideswiped by a county moving vehicle, and so I went through therapy and all that shit, and I scored like maybe a little under $6,000, and then I went and I ordered the Charlie Benante Rockstar that he used for State of Euphoria, and that was $5,000, bro. Oh shit, yeah. And that was it was the dream drum set, the cage and everything, dark red. Oh, beautiful. The hi-hat here, the hi-hat there, the 2 floor toms. Ooh, it was
with the best. Cymbals too?
Yeah, no, I had to pay cymbals separately, but I got zildjians on top of that. So, and believe me, I was broke. I was freaking broke.
Dude, you had the balls to go and spend that much money on it.
And you know what? I bought it at Clausen's, which they raped me over there. Shit.
Yes, I bet you. I bet you. Wow.
The only thing I had working for me was it was a settlement. So it's not like it was something I had been saving my money for. It was like, boom, I'm going to have it. I'm going to have the money this day. I'm going to order it. We're working with Tama. So I went through them to get the drum set. And that's what I'm saying. I love big drum sets. And
you're a lucky guy, man. You're a lucky guy to have.
Say what happened to that drum set, but I've got 2 toms, and I've got the snare that goes with it still.
Oh, so, cool.
Some things I don't want to let go of. But speaking of some things that I don't want to let go of is, a band that hadn't been around for a long time is Avenged Sevenfold. It's been like 5 years since they've done any kind of live performances. And, they finally bounced back when in Vegas, they had that Sick New World show weekend before last. And that was like the best bands out of all the 90s, man. They had, System, Korn, Deftones.
Cold Chambers.
Yeah. Everybody was out there, man. And that was the first time Avenged had come out in 5 years. So, it's when you're a big band like that, I can only imagine not doing anything for 5 years must be fucking kind of a different kind of experience. But at the same time, I'm sure that's when the families are, that's when they're having kids and they're buying their homes and all that kind of good stuff is happening that kind of just fuels the fire for them to get back to work and start grinding and and paying the bills again.
Yeah.
And I was reading up on Zachy Vengeance came out, and he was saying that their new album that's getting ready to drop, it's called Life is is but a dream. And excuse me, they he mentioned that, the fans are gonna love it and hate it. There's so many different things that they're trying on this album. And that first track, Nobody, I think it's already been out about a month or so. When I heard that, the way it came out, I was like, what the hell? And it took a while. It took 3 listens for me to, by the third listen, I was like, okay, all right, cool. I'm digging it. And you know what? And it just kind of shows how these guys are pushing the envelope. They're not trying to make the same record. They're trying to make something that's going to stand the test of time and be enjoyable to hear, time and time again. And I've always looked up to those guys because for younger cats, they're shredders, high energy, big production live. It's like, wow, they're great at what they do. And they're not one of my favorite bands, but I love Bad Country. I love Nightmare. There's a lot of jams that they put out that are, I love, and I know a lot of the lyrics too. But the latest one that they dropped was just the day before, well, I think it was like Friday, and it's called We Love You. And it's a roller coaster ride.
It's out there, bro. It's
Right.
out there. Yeah, when I heard it, I was like, yeah, y'all are, to me, it just sounds like they're intentionally trying to
yes,
go the other way. And I get it. When you're in a band and you play the songs you have in your catalog that many times, I know it gets mundane and monotonous and you get tired of playing the same solo every night. So I can get how, they're one of those bands that are open to being completely, hey, take a left turn this album around. And I'm fine with it. And hearing these 2 songs, they're very different. And they're very interesting.
Yeah.
Nobody was caught my ear and I instantly loved it. We Love You, I kind of had to listen to it, because I was like, they're going hard right now, man. So but it's not bad. It's not bad, so they had a whole bunch of different elements in one song.
Right.
And sometimes, to me as a listener, that can be good, and sometimes it can be just off-putting. It's just like, okay, whatever, this is too much for me. Just someone as with my mindset, bro. I have enough ADHD, and if you present something to me that's just off the wall, like I'm like, bro, I can't, man. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
it's discouraging to me sometimes. But no, the songs, I mean, those 2 songs, they're good, man. And like you were saying, dude, their catalog is great. I always love Avenged. I always look forward to hearing those guys, because those guys are just masters at their instruments,
Yeah, they really
and
are.
their drummers, all of them that they've ever had, are amazing. And Brooks is now just another amazing. I believe he's like the Robert Trujillo of Metallica. He's Metallica, in my opinion's best bass player ever.
Yeah.
Cliff is the best,
you couldn't touch him.
Yeah. The best, I think, writer as far as creativity goes. Jason, nobody matches his intensity.
Ooh,
you know what I mean? He's got them all beat. Trujillo, nobody touches his technicality. He can play. He can play you off the wall, bro. And that's how I feel with Brooks. He's an amazing drummer. Their last album, Exist, was amazing. It was great. It had some songs that were just kind of like off the wall too a little bit, but Brooks is an amazing, and that dude has a huge catalog, from playing with Bad Religion and other, punk bands, and he's a great drummer, and I'm glad that he's jamming with Avenged Sevenfold, man. And
hell yes. Let me give a shout out. Looks like Hex in the house right there. You said Cell Block. I remember I used to play drums for a band called Cell Block. That's what he's referring to. All right, Heck, you remember that? I was over there at the Ray West storage rooms. I jammed with Integrity on one side, and then on the other side I played drums with these guys, Cell Block, old friends of mine. Shout out to Izzy Prado, that's my brother, and the rest of the guys, Daryl, Mike, super guys, Paul. But then we also got Rob. Hey, ¿qué pasó, Rob Cantu?
Holding it down on the sticks, on the beats, the ones and twos.
He said, gave me an acid trip that the White Album had songs like A Little Piece of Heaven, and it was super experimental.
That's a dude. A Little Piece of Heaven is one of my all-time favorite Avenged Sevenfold songs, man. It's just great. Off the self-titled album.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
All right. I tell you what, I've been chewing everybody's ear for a minute. Give me some more, John. What do you got on your plate?
Well, I want to ask you. I had a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. Have you been have you had your ear to the ground as far as local bands and music is going in town, man? Because the past couple of months and even year, I've noticed a resurgence, man, within the heavy slam
Like
hardcore death,
deathcore? Fuck.
deathcore death metal bands that are here erupting here in Corpus, man. And so I just want to tip my
Yeah.
hat off to those bands because those dudes are putting in the work. You got bands like Tortured and
Yeah.
Throat Locusts, you know
Radio.
what I mean? Shout
Yeah.
out to Womb Rot,
Womb Rot.
and
That's right.
bands
Yeah.
like Lowball and other band. And dude, these guys are there's a lot, and I'm seeing that type of genre here in town just really get up on its feet and start running with it, which is cool to see because as a spectator and going to those shows, man, it's just all out, just it's nuts. So
Yeah. It's
uh,
back. I think there's just so much more bands doing their own thing right now, more than maybe during our heyday back in the day, like Periwinkle and Kill 'Em More days. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Maybe back then, maybe there was about 4, 5, 6. Right now, it seems like there's about 10, maybe 12 that
yeah.
that are working hard and jumping on as many shows as possible. And my hats off, got to go off to all the guys, Andrew and Eric and the team with Slam Master Booking, because they've been at them and also Beatdown Productions, Alex and Beatdown have really been busting ass getting, local local bands to open up for all these national bands that have been making their way through Texas and making Boozers or making a House of Rock their stops. They just had Ingested in town. Monday before.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
it's on the rise, man. Just not only here locally, but nationally. And John was saying Clarkwood Beer Garden's having a show this weekend, I believe. And Rob gave a shout out to I believe Contreras
Johnny.
Contreras band.
Oh,
Man, Johnny
sure.
Contu's even got a band, new project I'm seeing, Slander
Oh
and
shit.
Slum Mafia. So from Contreras, man. So
So we need to go out there and show some love, man, over there at the Clarkwood Beer Garden this weekend. See, that's another venue I haven't had a chance to check out, but I've been seeing live Facebook videos of people, posting up the shows that are going down there, man. And I need to get off my ass and go check that out, man, because I think, that's bless Tommy's heart, and I know Boozers is the place to be here in town, but it's great to be able to have some choices where if they got two national acts coming through town, we can take care of them here, whether it's at Boozers or in here at the beer garden and stuff like that. So, the more support we get for all the local bands around here, the better off, man, because we want to have more. We don't want to play at the same place all the time. Who wants to do that?
yeah, for sure.
You know,
So
and
I haven't been. I've yet to go to that place, but
me, man, but the sound looks like it's good. It looks like it's done well. So I need to go over there and give it a chance. So hats off to everybody running things over there at the beer garden. Keep up the great work. Keep up the grind.
yeah.
And especially all you guys, man, that are keeping the scene alive over here. The Womb Rots, the Throat Locusts, Radio Flyers, Summoning Beyond the Grave.
Ooh, Radio Flyer tripped me out too when I saw them, dude. And I was like, dang, these guys are going hard, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, that's another one. Shout out, man. And I just seen right now Terror of the Underground too at Clarkwood Beer Garden, man. So y'all go out there and support, man. But yeah,
Killer.
a mini Concrete Street, LOL. But man, yeah, like I said, man, I'm glad it's really firing up here in town, and it kind of just gives me inspiration too, man, because I gotta I got a band here. It's a
Yeah,
but
conscientious.
anyway, hey,
Hell yes,
I like.
conscientious.
I'm busy doing the night party thing primarily just because, man, I don't know. I'm pretty sure, and everybody makes fun of it, and that's fine. It's the tribute, you know, band is.
Hey,
There's
have
too
fun.
many, and this and that, and I'm gonna tell all and every single one of y'all right now,
Tell
I don't care, and I love y'all. I'm in a tribute band. I'm 42. I've been playing for like 27 years in the city, and you know what? I try my best, but they're paying me with the tribute band. So,
That's right, man. Hell yeah.
dude, I can only play originals so long. It's a labor of love, bro. And when you're playing originals and you ain't getting the compensation, and that's another thing I want to bring to light too with these bands who are hauling thousands of dollars of equipment. You gotta really, take into account that you bought this equipment. This equipment costs money. Don't be playing weeks on end for nothing. Start
Right.
taking pride in yourself. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, this thing right here, and all that photography equipment that I spend money on,
Yeah.
you got to put that into account when you go to a shoot. You're gonna put all that into your pay. And now I do it with my instrument, and that's probably why I don't play a lot of local shows right now. Is because, hey, bro, like you're paying thousands of dollars for your equipment, and you're bringing it, and you have to set it up, and the venue's gonna mic all that equipment up. I mean, if that's fine. I mean, they're all young, so there's a lot of young cats in here, and I mean, you can take my words how you want it. When I was young, 20 years ago too, so
Yeah.
it's all about playing and the adrenaline rush and everything, and it's fun. Don't get me wrong, it's fun because the crowds that are going to these shows are kicking ass in these shows, man. They're moshing up a storm. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry to go off on a tangent there. I just really want these.
No, I'm glad you got that off your chest.
young bucks to-
I started doing the cover band thing. It's already been like about 14, 15 years already with the guys from Joey and Steve from Fistful of Metal, who first let me start singing with them when they had a project called Refuel. And I'm just it's just fun. It all starts out just singing Static X, singing Rage Against the Machine, and next thing you know, you're learning 10 songs. Those 10 turn into
Uh-oh.
and you take the bull by the horns. And when you love what you do, whether it's drumming, guitaring, singing, photography, you want to do it as much as you can. And and the more you do it, the better you get. So sometimes you kind of start. At one time I was playing for 6 bands at one time. I had Annihilator, I had Blackland Conspiracy, I had Killer Morris, Screwface, Fistful of Metal, and Rockenstein. And it was a lot to juggle, and I would never do that again to my family, or because it was too much. But it was an example on how you got to know when to say no, and even though you want to jam with everybody, sometimes you got to say no.
Yeah,
because
you have to.
There's only enough. You only got 2 hands. You only got 24 hours in a day, and when you got kids around, take it from me, life goes by so fast that I regret not being around for Stone, especially, and because I was working 2 jobs, I was playing on the days off, and if I could do it differently, I'd like to do it differently. But in hindsight, things like this have made me who I am, and
God bless your wife, man. God bless your wife for putting up.
Try and just keep paying it forward. But
yeah.
Let me get off. Let me get off a little bit of me, and I want to hit a couple of things before we wrap things up for the night.
For sure.
This coming weekend, one of the guys that I really fucking look up to, and he's on my bucket list, and I haven't asked him to be on the podcast yet because I'm waiting till this thing finishes this weekend. And I'm talking about Jamie Jasta. He bought the rights from Koshnik for the Milwaukee Metal Fest. So now he owns the rights to that, and he's bringing it back hard and heavy. Starting on Thursday night, he's having his band go up there, and he's going to have Ripper Owens from Judas Priest singing. He's got Paul Bostoff on drums from Slayer.
Woo.
He's got Charlie Bill Moore from his Perseverance Music Group production team. He's also got Dino from Fear Factory on there, and Kurt is going to be jamming. And he's got an all-star lineup. And that's just Thursday. And then Friday, Biohazard's coming back the original OG lineup from Biohazard is going to be headlining Friday night. Before
Nice.
that, they got Dark Angel, Napalm Death, Dying Fetus, Corrosion, Crowbar, Goat Whore, Violence, Midnight, and like 15 other bands. And then Saturday, they got Anthrax headlining, Suicidal, Black Dahlia Murder. Rest in peace, Trevor Strand. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, man.
If it wasn't for Trevor coming up with this idea with Josta on a podcast they did probably about a few months before Trevor passed away, this thing would have never even happened. So this thing's all about Trevor, and Black Dahlia is going to be there on Saturday night, and also Shadows Falls coming back together. They're going to be performing. Obituary, Fear Factory, Terror, Misery Index, Jungle Rod, 18 other bands, and then Sunday, when you think you couldn't fit more in, you got Lamb of God headlining, Machine Head, After the Burial, The Halo Effect, Unearth. I love Unearth. That new Unearth killer.
That new Unearth slams, bro.
Yeah.
It is heavy. Yeah. So
they've got, Cephalic Carnage. They got Gate Creeper, Sengi Sugaba, who's freaking heavy as shit. And then Texas favorites, Pissing Razors out of El Paso Sunday. And another 18 bands. And I thank you, Jamie. And this was part of the healing process that I was talking about earlier in the segment where Lori was saying, what's bothering you? And this was one of the things that was bothering me, was that I didn't think it was in our budget or it was fair for me to even ask, let's go to Milwaukee Metal Fest. Because I think there's so many things that we do in our family that's all about metal and concerts. And it's like always what I want to do. And so I never said anything about this, but when she's saying, hey, what's bothering you? And I said, well, I want to go to this concert and it's coming up this weekend. She's like, well, she just wants to help. She's the best wife I could ever imagine, I could ever ask for. And she goes, we'll check it out. If we can do it, we'll go. And I was like, what the fuck? I can't believe it. What? So I started looking into tickets. It's pretty affordable ticket wise, but taking the plane from here to there in 1 week's notice is over $800.
Pretty expensive.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man. And she's totally down to make it happen. But at the same time,
Tony, drive. Start now. Drive.
Yes, she said, is it going to happen next year? And she said, this is just the first year. It's going to be happen yearly after this. She goes, we'll go next year. We'll plan.
Need my truck? I got a fairly new truck. Take my truck. You and Lori go out there.
I love you, man. I love you, man. But that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited for Milwaukee Metal Fest coming back. All these badass bands coming back out there. It's always been a part of history. When I was a kid, in the late 80s, early 90s, Milwaukee Metal Fest was a place to be. If you were a metal band, that's the place where you wanted to jam. My brothers in Annihilator and Sufferance and 9 Kills 9, they went up there. I think Alex has been there like 10 times. And wow, exactly, dude. And it's the place to be. And now it's back. So I'm going to be there next year. It's going to be badass. But let's also talk about another group of guys going to be here next Wednesday. Our brothers, and El Nino, Marcus, and all the gang, man. It's going to be so fucking badass.
Yes, brother, I can't wait.
Yeah, everything Marcus is a part of, man. He always brings it turns to gold because he brings his heart and his soul to it, and he's got a fucking one of the best voices out there in metal, and I'm just so incredibly proud and happy for the whole success of the band, because it seems like when they brought Marcus into the mix, all the best things started coming back. Mark rejoined the band, and activity just started happening, getting festivals left and right. And it just seems like the sky was the limit. And finally, we're going to be able to see this tour that's already, started at the beginning of May. And I'm just fucking excited. We're going to be there, right?
I'm going to be there. I'm so happy and I'm so proud of Marcos, bro, because I can only imagine the adversity that this guy feels day in and day out when he steps on stage, having to feel and fill the shoes of, the former Christian, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's doing an amazing job and he's making it sound amazing. Marcos has a voice of his own.
Yes.
And him to have the cojones and the will and just the bravery to go out there, bro, and bring to the masses Confessions,
Yeah.
legendary album, dude. That just makes me so, man. I pop that in almost daily now.
Yeah.
For the come up. You know what I mean? And it's a
Yeah.
great album. And just knowing that my brother's gonna be up there, dude, and he's been going through a lot this past year. So
Yes.
we don't talk much. 'Cause I don't like to bother him because he's a busy guy. But yeah,
Yeah.
just sending my love and thoughts and prayers and everything to him and uh and his family, man, and the El Nino family on the road. Come to Corpus. Uh, get safe, get your asses here safe. Uh,
Yeah.
Daniel Adame and Marcos have blessed me with, and you're hearing it first on the Tony Gomez show. They blessed me with a couple of dates to do photography on the
Yeah.
show. So
Yes.
I'm stoked, man.
Woo.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be joining Daniel, and we're gonna tag team it up and just have fun out there uh, at
Wow.
House of Rock, and then we're going to San Antonio and possibly Houston. So we'll see what's up, man.
So proud of you, John. Hell yeah.
Thanks.
It's earned, man. It's earned, man. And you're great people, and that's why everything's it keeps working to your advantage. Just keep up the good vibes, keep paying it forward, and more of this stuff's gonna keep coming your way, man. I'm so excited, man. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah, I know.
Wow. Wow, man.
So
It's really
looking
exciting.
forward to that, man. Looking forward to that. I want to ask you a question before we go, though.
Okay.
We're gonna jump into sports, man. What do you think about the San Antonio Spurs getting that #1 pick? Do you follow the San Antonio Spurs? You do, right? You're a San Antonio
I
Spurs
love the Spurs fans. I mean, I'm a Spurs fan because I'm all about the Cowboys. I'm all about the Spurs. I'm not too much Texans, but I'm all about those two right there. But I've been watching the playoffs, and Lori's in the other room watching it right now between the Celtics and
the Heat.
and the Heat. Yeah, and the Heat's probably going to clean them up. They're 3-0, and night before last game is freaking. I don't even want to talk about it.
I can't believe the Heat are just wiping the floor, dude.
Ooh,
The #8 seed.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, man.
But tell me,
I'm just excited.
I missed the #1 pick. Who's the draft pick?
It was this kid from France, which has a weird last name, and I'm still like getting accustomed to saying it. Wembayama. But he's a super tall kid, man. 7'5", I believe, super lanky. So I do have my reservations as far as just the outcome that could happen. Of course, I want the best outcome.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? This
Devin-
kid is promising from what everybody talks about, and just excuse me, just I've seen his highlights, and it's great. It's France. You know what
yeah,
I mean? It's like hey, when you come to the United States, you're playing against the big dogs. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So he could be doing all this stuff. I mean, just look at the guys that go over to Japan and China. They start dominating, but they're playing in China. So when
right.
you come to the United States, man, that's when you're playing the top tier.
Best of the best.
I hope that he beefs up a little bit, gets some muscle, and according to some reports, man, he's gonna be under the tutelage of the great three, the mighty three: Duncan and Ginobili and Parker.
Yeah,
And hey, God bless him, dude. Pop too, man. He's already up there, 74, dude. So yeah, Thomas, you should have played basketball, bro. But anyway. Yeah, dude. I'm very optimistic. I haven't seen the Spurs in a couple of years, only because they did me wrong and they went to a different channel, and I have to subscribe or pay to it. And it was always Fox Sports Southwest. So
yeah,
they've been on Bally for a couple of years, and I just haven't even bothered with it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm pretty upset with the fact that I can't. And plus, they've been a crap team. No disrespect. I love the Spurs. Spurs are. I'm a lifer. But they've just been a crap team. I don't know if it has to do with coaching or just the players or the mentality or,
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you're saying.
the philosophy of what they want to achieve.
Yeah, yeah,
But,
man. Who are you picking for? Who's your favorite for the NBA championship? Out of who's left?
so, yeah, obviously, I think you're right. It's going to go Heat Nuggets. I'm going Nuggets, man.
I know, right?
I'm
Man, they
going
looked good
Nuggets.
last night. They looked
Dude,
good last night. Sealing the
Yep.
contract in for LeBron to take it home, and he's going to have to try again next year. And Joe Kick. He's a beast. I
He's
love
a
his,
beast.
he's always there, ready for the rebound. He's always boxing out.
Tony, if somebody asks me right now, if somebody asks me right now, you want Jokic and give the Nuggets the number 1 pick, do it. Let's go. I'm picking Jokic, bro.
Take him, man.
I
Exactly, man.
wouldn't even in a second. You know what I mean? That's how good of a player he is.
Yeah.
And with Murray and Gordon and all the key role players that Denver has, I really feel. I mean, dude,
this could be the year.
Yeah, I think so. We're getting close to. Well, I think we already passed. We're at hour 15. I don't know how much longer you got. I don't know if you want to.
We'll wrap things up right here. I wanted to just give the crowd a little courtesy since we went black for about maybe 10 minutes there. But
yeah,
let's say bye to all our friends. We see Rob Cantu's in the house, Furman Torres, the main event. Go check out the Main Event Live podcast. All right.
Shout out to the Main Event. Shout out to the Main Event podcast. Shout out to this guy. If you need anything for your wrestling needs, besides Rob play the drums for Corpus's hottest metal band right now. Okay, yeah. We're gonna resort to Furman Torres right now for all your wrestling needs. But anyway, shout out, man. Shout out to my boy Furman Torres.
Big time. Shout out to Thomas, man. Tom, John, good. Thanks for joining us tonight. Matt's in the house.
My boy Matt Gongora. Hey, Corpus Christi. That's the GOAT. I'm sorry, that's the GOAT. I'm always gonna stand by my boy Matty.
What was his old school band? Was it Protocol or something?
He played in Protocol. He played in Excrete. That's his calling card right there.
Hell yeah!
But Matt Gongora, man,
right there.
Is a prodigy. He's even a prodigy on the disc golf course, man. I got to give it to him. That's my boy. Much love.
And if it wasn't for Matt and always seeing him doing disc golf, I wouldn't have bought my own set. So I bought a couple of sets and I got them through Amazon. And I went on Sunday and played my first 9 holes of disc golf over there.
Did you really?
Yeah, man, it was fun.
Oh wow, nice. Bad. Okay. Your mic. Turn your mic on. There you go. Uh-oh.
Thanks a lot for turning me on to disc golfing. You guys that haven't tried it yet, give it a try. It's a lot of fun. It's harder than it looks. To be good at it, it's harder than it looks. And watch out and try and learn your etiquette too. So that way you're not freaking hitting somebody with a disc golf as you're going, vice versa, across the park and shit. So I'm learning, but it's a lot of fun. And tell me about, real quick before I let you go, when's your next gig coming up, John?
Next gig is June 3rd, and that's going to be at Bonds 007 in San Antonio. And I can't wait to go back because the last show we had there with Learn to Swim.
Oh, yeah.
And Devil P, dude, just a great show. Us three, whenever we get together when we play shows. So this next show, we're going to be playing The Punishment Due, a tribute to Megadeth. Is going to be on the bill, and then an Evanescence tribute band, us, and then Devil P. So it's going to be a stacked lineup, and it's going to be back at Bonds 007, which is a great venue, great sound, great great staff. I can't wait to go. I'm on vacation that week.
Right.
So,
Well, shout out to everybody over at Bonds, Juan Bond and the family out there. Y'all keep bringing in some of the best talent in all of Texas and around.
My boy Frank B, man.
So I'm excited about it. It's going to be a stacked lineup. As for myself, I got a gig on June 2nd. I'll be with Headbangers Pit. We'll be playing over at the Monk, and they'll be celebrating the Monk's birthday. And I'm not too sure what year it is, but it's a birthday weekend. So if you guys are here, come by and drop by the Black Monk on June 2nd on Friday night, no cover, and come check us out. We'll play some jams for you. John, thanks a lot for joining me today on the Downbeat. I appreciate all the great music talk and really just catching up and being here for me, man. I love you.
Dude, I love you too, man. Before I go, real quick too, big shout out to all the photographers in town, man, and even out of town, boy, dude. y'all look up a photographer that's up and coming, Crotate, Jorge Carrillo, man. He's in the scene and he's helping a lot of bands out. I just wanted to tip my hat off. My boy Jay in Houston, who does a lot of boudoir and other photography, lowrider photography. That's my boy Jay in Houston. And because man, dude, I'm all about the photography scene right now. But hey, thank you for letting me get that in, Tony. I love you. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Hey, ask me on any time. Let's have fun with it. I'm always willing to have fun. And
hell yeah. Well, consider it. We'll make plans. We're gonna make plans to do it again, man. Because I had a great time, man. It's always much fun doing it with you. You're natural.
Keep your head up. Keep your head up.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Well, shout out to everybody real quick. Throat Locust is going to be in San Antonio on Saturday, and then go check them out here in Corpus Christi. They're probably going to be at the Clarkwood Beer Garden maybe on Sunday. That's a 2-day festival. So go check out everybody at the Clarkwood Beer Garden downtown. Support your live music. Thanks for checking out the Tony Gomez Show. Make sure you're checking out the Deftones Tribute Knife Party next time they're playing, and go check them out over on June 3rd at Bonds. We love you guys. We'll see you at the next time. Thanks for watching the Tony Gomez Show.
We out.